I gotta pay my respects. Rest in peace to the brother, young Dolph.
Yes, rest in peace.
He was killed today, and you know it's a sad thing that's going on in Memphis, and I hope that they find their way through. Moment of silence. God bless.
Bless.
Oh, Memphis. Hip hop. What is going on in hip hop, sir?
You know what's interesting to me is I remember being on the highway, the West Side Highway, and we're in a car, another car behind us. We're coming from Jersey and we're rushing. We New Jersey driving it. You can imagine what we're doing on that.
Right.
And we headed to, I think, Long Island. And we going to open up for Biggie Smalls and Puff. I remember so for me, I always say that the thing about the street code, because a lot of people talk about, what street and what, the element of street, real street is family. Like not fake street, the idea of, so that means that there's always a nephew with an uncle and a father. And 9 times out of 10, the uncle and the father is in jail. So then the OG of that street becomes that uncle and that father. So I think that we got a lot of that missing. You feel what I'm saying to you?
Right.
Now it's just quick draw. And that's where we headed. Think about that. I mean, you giving me you give me a crazy flashback being in the green room. I think I'm in Europe, like me and Tupac. And our real connection, I think it was that Black Panther and Haitian Revolution that kept us on that corner, you know what I'm saying to you? But then we look at it, and my daughter that's 16 years old, she has a Tupac t-shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Like she got a Biggie cap on. And what the youth represent for us at that time, because we all young, right? What that youth represented and what we stood for and what we were shocked of. Like when the passing of our brothers passed away, it was crazy. It was shocking. It was like, I mean, we all closed in, right? Didn't we all close in? And now today, it's every 2 months.
Every 2 months.
Yeah.
It's almost like the message, it doesn't linger anymore. The learning that's supposed to come out of it doesn't linger anymore. It fades, and then you just hear another one.
We're desensitized to it. There's no impact to it anymore even. It's almost like, remember how it was when you would find out that Pac got shot? Like it was almost like he slipped on ice. The impact of it just didn't really seem to hit anymore because it had happened before and he got up and walked away. It was like nothing. Now we're desensitized to the idea of rappers dying. Almost the same way. It's like, damn, another one. And then you just move on.
But is it just rappers? Or is it that we live in a society where you pick up your phone and you can see 5 deaths in 1 minute, just scrolling?
Yeah, that's what it is.
They happen to be rappers. You think what I mean? The rappers are the ones that make the news outside of your block. But we've, over the last, 2 interviews we've done, we've had 24 rest in pieces just in stories that were being told. Every other comment, every other dude they reminisced on, it was rest in peace, rest in peace. Yo, remember when we was at the spot? Yeah, homeboy was, rest in peace. And it like nonstop. But now they just happen to be rappers. And it was a time when rap felt more like a way out. And now it almost seems like dudes who never got arrested in their life, you become a rapper, that might be what happens.
It is currently holding the title as the most dangerous job in America, being a rapper.
I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to all this, and I think that everything starts with a core. And you have to think, why is the cycle repeating itself over and over and over again, right? Because the first thing, I don't think that the youth is really exposed behind a 4-block radius. And what that means is us, like when we was in the projects before we was able to move out, we assumed this was what it was and all the rules had to abide by here. This is our territory, that's yours. You move here, it's gonna be war. But then when you start to look at the world from a bigger scope, you gotta think about it. Like, if you are in Detroit or you in Memphis or you in LA or you in New Jersey, you have a gang of people that is in Washington, DC. And these people are supposed to be representing the interests and the policies of the boroughs, the communities, the states, and all of that. So at the end of the day, I think that there's a big job that has to be done. And I think the job is teaching the community a little more on who the hell they gonna vote for, and make sure that whoever they voting for within their boroughs is actually holding them down. Cause dog, I mean, you wanna talk about America, let me tell you about Haiti right now. So I think they still have, 17 Americans still kidnapped, right? As we sitting here, we're speaking. So I'm from a place called Kwadebuke. Kwadebuke has the biggest gang that you could think about that's in the country right now. So at the end of the day, I want you to think that in a place where police can't even move around, right? Where the law is within right now, it's a failed state within itself, right? Now you'd be like, man, this is crazy. Then I'd be like, my man, let's take a trip to Afghanistan with me. And let me show you like what's going on these streets. So let's go within the favelas of Brazil. And then by the time we get to America back and we talking about these RIPs, we realize that this cycle is really going on around the world. Yeah, the cycle is moving around the world. And then we gotta hold ourselves accountable. And what that means is like you got two groups of people, talkers and doers. So the doers is actually in the field doing the work. So at the end of the day, I think the more you communicate with them, the more y'all communicate, the more Jay Prince communicate, the more Jay-Z communicate, the more Puff, because the information that you can give an actual youth can actually save his life.
Right.
Yeah.
But these are brothers with a huge influence. And I think it's the influence. The OGs, they're OGs that step in, and they're OGs that choose not to pick a side and they watch what's going on.
Well, if you don't step in, you are what I call casualty of war. At the end of the day, your relevancy is based on nothing, right? So at the end of the day, people say, yo, no matter what happens, how can you constantly get up and defy whatever any man or woman is saying and move forward? Then I said, well, I gotta base it off of history. And when I look back at history, ain't nobody burning no cross in front of my house. I'm living with them. Ain't nobody saying, yo, come outside, man. Your brothers out there waiting, right? They're not literally shooting us to the point where we cannot see each other's faces, right? Where you can't describe who, you like, who the hell's my brother in this casket? I don't see it like that, right? Then we go back, we look at Martin Luther King, we look at Malcolm X, we look at Rosa Parks, Toussaint Louverture, Marcus Garvey, who got deported and set up, right? Once again, right, we go, holy shit, we still at the same cycle, right? Because now we come back around again, the same thing we was just talking about. Afghanistan, boom, 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 and we come back and we say that RIP, we come back again, it's that same RIP now, right? It's for George Floyd, it's for Eric Garner, it's for, you know what I'm saying to you? So like I said, you cannot be in a time right now and don't speak up and don't do. You must do.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.